this is Conversations with Faye.
In my experience, I think most small businesses almost start by accident.
So let's find out.
It's very rare in small business or with an entrepreneur that they will start with a strategy.
Put this one on.
I'm going to put it on a different way.
You know, as a small business, you need to get your message out to wherever your ideal clients are.
Yes, those difficult decisions around what age are the kids.
Should I leave or should I go?
Live. Conversations with Faye. Changing lives. One conversation at a time. And subtle consequences. Welcome back to episode 3 with Lisa Stephenson. Now, Lisa, we're going to be talking about connect, which is the second C of the 3 C's. We've done conjure. Now we're going to do connect. What does connect actually mean?
So connect is all about brands forming the emotional connection with their prospective customers and storytelling.
Okay, let's talk about the emotion first.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by connecting with an audience, with emotion?
So emotion is what people buy on.
Yes.
So whenever you are selling a product or a service, it is the customer's need and the emotion they get from fulfilling that need that makes them buy.
Right. Okay. So playing on emotion, and then you said storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So with storytelling, what's all that about?
Storytelling helps a brand communicate, I guess, what they're about and what their values and their purpose is beyond just the benefits of a product or a service.
It's not normal storytelling like you've got a story to tell. If someone's got a story that they want to share with somebody else, it's more specific storytelling about the brand, which then connects with the audience.
Yeah, so I guess think of it as communicating your ethos. As an example, we have maybe Airbnb might be a good example.
Okay.
You know, they're an explorer archetype. They encourage travel. They encourage, exploration, going to different places, experiencing different cultures, but in a different way than if you were going to a hotel. So they're very much about going to stay in someone's home. Then it's like you integrate yourself into the local community or the destination and you belong there.
And being self-sufficient while you're there. You don't have to rely on anybody to do anything.
Yeah.
You've got it all there on your doorstep.
Yeah. So the Airbnb's philosophy or purpose is very much about, well, if their tagline is belonging anywhere. So all of their marketing is based on being in a home.
Yes, and it is like that when you go and stay in an Airbnb, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Have you got another example of a storytelling about a business? You mentioned a little while ago that Dove was something that really connects with their audience.
Yes, so Dove is a caregiver archetype.
Right.
So they're very much about empowering women, encouraging women to feel confident in their own skin.
And how do they do that? Through their storytelling. What is it? What's their aim and their story that they tell?
Yeah, so their marketing is more about showing rather than telling.
Okay.
So I guess the Dove ads include women of all ages, all shapes and sizes, all colours and ethnic backgrounds. So it's very wide and accepting of everyone, and it's empowering those women to accept who they are and feel confident in their own skin. And it doesn't matter what that skin is because it's uniquely yours.
Yeah.
And to encourage, I guess, the act of self-care.
And that's a really important thing, isn't it? If you have a product that provides self-care for your audience, then the story is around building that emotion and bringing people in feeling that, what do you say, that tug on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
To get them to listen, to feel, to visualize them being in that space.
Yeah. You know, Dove is a product that I would suspect that the market of people that buy their product, majority women, by a long way.
But there are men out there that are now really starting to take care of themselves as well. So 100%. They don't discriminate.
No, they don't discriminate, but their message is mainly targeted at women.
Yeah.
And I suspect that's because, one, the woman is their ideal customer, and two, they are generally the person that does the shopping.
They are, aren't they? Although there are men that do the shopping as well.
There's always exceptions.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about storytelling. We've given a couple of examples. Let's talk about the real connection, the connect part of it, and how a business can connect with their audience in an authentic and meaningful way. There's the word connect, and it's a really powerful word when you think about it, because when you have a business, a small business, and you want to connect with your audience, what is it about that word? What is it about connecting with your audience? You said emotion, which is a really important thing, connecting with the audience with emotion. What else is there with the word connect?
Businesses want their audience, one, to recognize them, two, to resonate with them and relate to them. So by promoting their purpose beyond profit or beyond their products, features or benefits, it creates the emotional connection. Customers of Airbnb kind of want to get down and dirty with wherever they're going.
Yeah.
You know,
they want to experience.
They want to experience the culture and the people and the lifestyle, rather than stay in a hotel and have a much more, let's call it, sterile experience.
I wasn't going to call it sterile. I was going to call it staid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of that, more
immersive.
Yeah. And freedom. It's a bit more free to stay in an Airbnb, and you've got lots more options.
Yeah.
Out there, and you can choose to be connected with other families in Airbnbs if they have others on the property, or you can be by yourself, so you have a choice. Whereas in hotels, you're just rooms.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that just rooms, they're rooms, and it's a different environment.
Very much so.
Connection there and the emotion, you go there to stay because you're in a place where you need to get to A and B and get back to your room to do whatever you need to do. Whereas Airbnbs take on a different concept of more relaxed.
Yeah. And I guess for Airbnb, that purpose or that concept can be applied anywhere. Whereas a hotel, their message would change depending on what country they're in or what area they're in.
Whereas Airbnb want you to travel and have that freedom to move around and just go back and do all that sort of stuff.
And their purpose applies no matter where the Airbnb is.
Yeah. So more about what's the importance of that connect, that emotion with your audience, with people, that makes them want to inquire, engage.
So the storytelling, you really want to have like a customer-driven narrative. So I guess they're talking, you're talking in a manner that potentially pushes pain points with a customer, or is outcome-based. So you're playing on the emotion or the feeling or the outcome that they're going to come out with.
Okay. Giving them satisfaction.
Yeah, or a feeling.
A feeling, an emotion that they want to go back.
Yeah, an experience.
Or they want to experience it again and again and again. Because it's repetition, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the connection. So that's where the word comes from. It is providing them with an experience of some description that creates the connection. And that experience could be, I don't want to say bad,
It could be both. It could be good.
Yes,
It could be
correct.
not so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. It depends on the individuals.
Yeah, and it depends on their need.
Yeah, their need, their expectation of a place. They might see something and like it, get there, and their expectation isn't the same as what they thought it would be. Those sorts of things. So when you tell stories, you have the narrative. How can you tell a small business that their storytelling is around engaging the audience, because that's the connection, but also talking about bringing in that emotion, that feeling, that desire to want to find out more about it, so they want to ask questions. How do you build a narrative or a story around that?
Going back to the examples that I've used in the previous episode, so the engineering company we designed the brand for, and he was a sage archetype, or that the company was a sage archetype. So their story that goes out to their prospective clients, who are generally very large construction or corporate or investment-based companies, his story is about getting it right and it being particular and providing an optimum result. Well, his expertise is around creating the best environments for people to live or work or be in. Generally, it's work, because he specialises in commercial spaces. So that means that, the light is right for people to work to their optimum. The airflow is right.
Yeah.
The amount of windows, the way that the power is, the paint on the walls, the carpets on the floors.
The
all
lighting
of that stuff, yeah.
The lighting's a really important part of that.
Absolutely. So his stories are about the experience of working in those buildings, and then the results that those businesses get because their employees or their teams are working in a space that's optimally designed for them.
So they get the maximum benefit. Yeah. Okay. Are there any others that you can, look at and share about really connecting? What is it that a small business needs to look at when they're getting their story right, to do their message, to create that impact, that engagement with their audience? I mean, sometimes I think small business just fluke it. They will put a message out there and they'll get, I don't know how many likes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it'll be a fluke, but they won't do it every time. So it's
No.
that inconsistency. So how do you create that consistency around connecting with the emotion, the feeling, when you're talking to a business?
I think with any small business, the best place to start with storytelling is perhaps with case studies.
Yeah.
So talking to clients or looking at those successful jobs or things that you've done for clients and creating stories about them, about why they were successful. And it's not, like I said before, it's not about the surface level win or the surface level emotion. It's about getting deeper and relating that case study back to your purpose.
How deep do you actually need to go to get that?
It depends on the product or the service and what matters. So, you could take Patagonia as an example. They're very much they're an explorer archetype. So they're very much about freedom and exploring and getting out to places where you don't see another human being, or, really experiencing the natural environment in all its beauty. But equally, one of their purposes is to leave that environment untouched. So they put a lot of support from their profit back into preserving the environment.
Which is encouraging.
Yeah, and people buy Patagonia because of what they give back to the environment.
And that's very powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very powerful way of selling a product or a service.
It is.
What else is it that you want to talk about?
We could cover the common mistakes about how people focus too much on just the benefits of a product. Well, the surface level benefits.
What are the common mistakes that us business owners make when we're working on getting our message right, sharing the story, the ethos of the business, and everything else? What are some of the common mistakes that we make?
The most common mistake is that businesses just purely focus on the features or benefits of the product.
What else do they need to focus on besides the features and the benefits of a product? The outcome of the product?
Yeah, the outcome, the emotion that outcome instills, their brand purpose beyond profit.
Okay, so if they have, say, they're selling a product and they're talking about its features and benefits, which they can do, but there's also something else that they need to build into that message to say, if you purchase or when you purchase this is what we can do to enhance whatever.
By purchasing a product or service, you become part of a bigger picture. So you get the features and benefits of the product. But
there's more than that.
Yeah, like, buying a car is a great example. The features and benefits of, cars that are in roughly the same price bracket are the same.
Yeah.
Why do you buy, a Volvo over an Audi? Generally, Volvo drivers, people buy Volvos because of their reputation with safety.
Yes.
And that is not necessarily to say, and I don't know the stats on this, that's not necessarily to say that they're safer than an Audi or a Mercedes or a BMW or those, the other cars that are in those similar price bracket. That's the point of difference, and that's the brand purpose that they have focused their brand on.
And that started years ago.
Yeah. And so that's what they're known for.
Yeah, and they continue to maintain that. So it's that continuity, that believing in their product, that's what it does.
Yeah.
It provides safety for families and people that drive them.
And equally, stories can tell themselves if brands don't do the right thing.
Oh, yes.
So, one of the really kind of great examples at the moment is Qantas.
Oh, we won't go there.
But you look, kind of pre-COVID, they were Australia's most loved and trusted brand.
Well, they've kind of fallen down there.
They have. And, yes, they're trying to resurrect it, but, they've got a way to go because of them putting profit before their purpose.
Profit before their clients.
Yeah.
And you can lose business pretty quick, smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is business all about the money, or is it about creating a community, creating connections, creating that know, like, and trust? It's more about those things and the actual financial gain. They say if you do the right thing in a business, the money flows.
Yes. Yeah. And I think more and more from corporate level down, I think small business have to do the right thing because they don't survive if they don't. And, that is flowing up the chain more and more now into corporates. But, from a small business perspective, tell great stories and people relate and people want to belong and they want to support something that they resonate with and they feel is good or has a good impact or does a good job. People will support that.
Because they're emotionally connected.
Absolutely. And people buy people.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
People buy people. They don't buy what you sell.
Especially in small business. Especially.
Because they want to trust you. They want to get to know you and build that relationship with you. And even if they don't want to buy, they know that they can trust you. So therefore, you can refer them on because you know that business is of a high standard.
Yeah. And storytelling is the best and quickest way to build the know, like, and trust. So
when you say storytelling, I still want to get some more clarity in this storytelling. You can talk about the ethos of the business, but the storytelling, is it about the actual people that started the business and why they started it and how they've given all their passion and their purpose to this thing because they want to make a difference in the world or make a difference for their audience?
Yeah. In small business and working with entrepreneurs, the story of the business owner is really important. So, as a business owner, you want to share, like I did earlier, how you got into what you're doing and why you got into what you're doing and what you love about it. And talking about that process and talking about your experience, they get to know you. And sharing things about, you'll see on a lot of small businesses, they talk about their teams and they'll talk about, the passions of their teams or what they like or what they don't like, what their pets are, all of those things. That builds the know, builds the like, because you find things you have in common.
And the trust.
And then it builds the trust because you learn about their experience.
Yeah. And then the relationship on a business level happens.
It does.
And they're more likely to refer someone when that happens as well.
100%. 100%. And referral is the best marketing tool you could ever have.
But you've got to be really careful with referral. I always say that you've got to know, like, and trust and have a relationship with the business that you're referring to someone. But you've also got to know that someone so that you can trust that they're going to do the right thing by the person you've referred them to.
Again, the power of a story. If people know your story and they're referring business onto you, they can tell some of that story.
Yeah.
Or they can tell their story of dealing with your business.
Yes. Yes.
It's all, it's all part of the message.
There's a big message, isn't it? You really have to know and understand how to approach it.
Yeah.
How to make it work for you, how to make it real and raw. So that feeling that they want to engage with you.
Yeah. So having that really clear understanding of the conjure that you develop in the conjure stage of, setting that brand foundation and really knowing who your ideal client is. So you are, all these stories you are telling to them.
Yes. What other things do business owners need to know within that connect side of things?
One of the other really common mistakes is them using jargon. So things that are really industry specific. Like I was going to say, dumb it down. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, yeah. Like in the KISS principle.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, sweet. Or I always say keep it simple, stupid, but keep it simple, sweet.
Yeah.
And you don't need to complicate it because you want it simple so that they connect with it immediately, not have to read it and think, oh, what does that mean?
Having that consistent message.
Well, I think that's a wrap, Lisa.
Awesome.
I think connection, emotion, storytelling, the ethos, being consistent all the time with your message is a really important part of your business. Don't change the message because the message stays the same. Yeah. You can add to it if you add a new product or you add a new service. The message stays the same even though you might add new things to your business. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Lisa, for another insightful episode. I'm Faye Waterman. This has been Conversations with Faye, and I'll be back with Lisa with another episode soon. Bye for now. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Changing lives, one conversation at a time.